So I've had a lot of you asking me, how did I lose over 30 pounds in less than 15 weeks? And it sounds crazy. It sounds like, how did she do that? Did she do it healthy? I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what I did and how you can do it too. Okay, so I am in my sweaty self in my kitchen, just finishing my workout. We're going to talk about that. But the first way that I want to talk to you about how I lost all this weight was this. It was this. Honestly, I would say for me, it was well, if not 50 to 90% of my journey was about changing my mind on what I could do, how I can do these things, pushing myself. It was all of that. And I've done videos about how I got started on this and the calling on my life for this and just what it means and all that. But really, it was my mind that needed to change about who I am, what I can do, and pushing myself to do hard things. Okay, so that was facilitated by being part of something called the Total Transformation. And you can watch this on YouTube. My good colleague and friend, Carmen, she hosts this. You can find it on her YouTube channel, and you can actually follow along and follow our journey, season 2 or season 1 or season 3, and you can grasp a lot. So I was following season 1 while I had begun my weight loss journey starting at the beginning of 2021. My goal at the beginning of 2021 was to lose 50 pounds, and I started doing it on my own because I'm a doctor and I know these things, and I would be a little bit in this accountability group and do a little bit of this, but I never was all in. And when God called me to do hard things and to apply for the Total Transformation, I was like, no, I can do this. But he was so right. 1, I needed that accountability. 2, I needed to have a plan that I could follow and actually follow through, because that's one of my downfalls. And then to have a support system. So I guess if I could say number 2 would be very strong accountability. And I'm not talking about like, yay, I did my workout, or yes, I ate on track, where you check in on Facebook, like a really all in type of accountability where there's no wiggle room. And that's what I needed. Maybe you don't, but that's what I needed. Okay, so number 2 was accountability. And number 3 was that support system, right? The support system to really be encouraged, because I did not have that in my household, meaning my husband was not doing all these health changes with me. In fact, you can see early on in the season 1 and some of the videos throughout, like there was, in my early days, pizza every weekend, Taco Bell. I mean, it was a struggle. Even though I know those things aren't healthy for me, if they were in the house, I would, prior to this, indulge, right? Because I didn't have that accountability. I didn't have that support system saying, you can do it, you know? And so we had a support system on Marco Polo where we talked to each other every single day. And although in the beginning I didn't think I was going to like it, I absolutely did love it and made some lifelong friends from it. So, okay, so support system, that was number 3. Number 4, and probably the biggest and most important thing that I can share that really made the change for me was the nutrition. Now, when I say that, the food, right? The food. Because I don't know how many of you grew up. I grew up in an Italian household. If you didn't eat everything on your plate and then some, we had giant portions. I just never knew what portion control was. I never knew. I mean, I knew some about macros and things like that. And as a doctor, you know, those things are important. I've had some classes on these things, but I didn't have as good of a plan as this is. So let me show you a little bit. It's called the Ultimate Portion Fix. It is not a diet. It's a way of kind of retraining your mind and your habits for eating. Okay, does that make sense? So it's a way that I assume, and maybe I'll always use it, but let me just show you. Ready? Okay. So some people call this the container system, okay? And in the container system, we have all these different color containers, right? You can get these on Amazon. Also, the Ultimate Portion Fix is a program by Beachbody, by Autumn Calabrese. You can see these different size containers. And what I didn't grow up with and what I didn't understand is what an actual portion was, right? So if we would eat our hummus, we might eat it out of the container until all our carrots were gone, all of that. And the other thing that I didn't understand so much too, which I found was really important for me as a perimenopausal woman, is I really wasn't getting the food and nutrition that I thought every day. So each one of these different color containers and each one of these boxes represents a different macronutrient. So this is proteins, reds is proteins, greens is vegetables, yellows is carbs, blues is like your fats, orange is like, well, I use flaxseed and, you know, some certain nuts in there. These are fruits and these are teaspoons. And this is like good fats like oils and things like that. Okay. Could you see that? Good. Okay. So, but then here, this is 1 cup. So vegetables and fruit, 1 cup. Proteins is 3/4 of a cup. A carb is a 1/2 a cup. Yeah, like crazy. Like how many of us put a full cup of rice on our plate, right? Or beans on our plate when you go to a Mexican restaurant. I mean, you're just getting so much of that. But in a day, for my plan, and all of us will have different plans based on our weight and sex and all that, I only get 2 of these per day, right? So this is a very balanced macro. So 2 of these. So 1/2 a sweet potato. And then, how many of us here have sandwiches every day, things like that? 1 carb is only 1 slice of bread, right? 1 slice. How many have 2 slices of bread or bagel or whatever every morning? Or for a sandwich, you might have 2 sandwiches. That's 4 carbs that we're getting. We're an over-carb society, and I was no different than that. So this right here just changed everything. This blue container could be your cheese. How many of you love to overeat cheese? But it's also your fats, right? So this is 2 tablespoons of hummus. So a lot of days I would have carrots and hummus as one of my veggies in that. For me, I found that cheese was just kind of too tempting, so I kind of took it out of my diet quite a bit. This, I loved flax meal. Not only is it great for my liver, but I would put it in some of my shakes, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. Okay, so the 4th tip, I will say, and probably the main thing, right? Because you can exercise all day long, you can take all the supplements, you can do all of those things, but if you don't get this piece right on what portions are, how many calories you actually need in a day, you know, and some people just counted calories, but for me, this kind of, and I want to say discipline, is now a lifestyle choice for me. Now a lifestyle choice, okay? So this little protein here would be fit. I make my turkey patties, or if I'm making hamburgers and things like that, I will measure them out first, and then I have that. One protein is 2 eggs, right? 2 eggs, and the list goes on and on. But okay, that super, super important. If this was probably my missing piece of all these years of not getting things right. Okay, the fifth thing that I did that was super, super important that, again, I didn't realize until I was in this program that I wasn't really doing every day is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And part of our requirement was a gallon a day. This is not a gallon. This is only 64 ounces. So 2 of these a day. I wasn't even doing 64 ounces. Like when I really got down to it, I was like, wow, all these years I haven't been doing it. And no wonder my lips were always dry. But this, if I could pick like the second thing that was most important to losing all the weight, was drinking the water every day and getting the water in every day. Now, some of my teammates still struggle to get the water in. But I found this water bottle, which I've been carrying with me for all these weeks, is probably the best thing that I have to drink water. One, because it's easy to drink. You can get these on Amazon. Maybe I'll put a link below. But you can see what you're drinking. There's some inspirational quotes on one side and then how many ounces you're at. But it just made things very easy. A lot of friends, they were doing, bottles. They have to do so many bottles and stuff like that. And I just found like having this like go everywhere I did was easy. Now, again, I work from home. I'm not out a whole lot compared to some of those friends that are working every day. But it's not as heavy as the gallon. We did get a gallon one too, and that was just too heavy for me. But the 64 ounce water bottle like this was good. Now, what kind of water you're drinking, I've done videos on that, but we have an Aquinox under the sink filter, which gets rid of like everything. We have a Berkey filter as well. So all of that was good too. Some people like cold water. You can put, ice in here. Anyway, but that, what did I say, number 5, that was a huge, huge key. And person after person and person who did their water and maybe a little bit more said it was a key to their weight loss journey. So water would be the second most important thing for me in my weight loss journey that was helpful. Next up, I'm going to talk about the 6th thing that I did that was both mentally, physically, spiritually, really, really moving for me on this weight loss journey. So as some of you watched my previous videos, I talk about how God called me up to do hard things, that I had been living in a comfort zone and and it wasn't good. And I got very soft, and how I was inspired by watching another young woman who lost the use of her legs and how she was working out in the gym. And because she was strong prior to the loss, this virus that she got that depleted her lower body, and it was just awful. But she started from a place of strength and then just kept keeping that strength. And it helped her mind, it helped all those things. So I was inspired by that when I was 50 pounds overweight. And so I knew that if anything were to happen to me, and I'm 46 years old right now, and I know that the chances of me, whatever, later in life, all of us are going to have some health challenges. Do I want to do that 50 pounds overweight, or do I want to do it less and maybe even diminish the chances of those health challenges? So what I'm trying to tell you is number 6, are we on, I think, is that exercise was the key. And I am not talking about going for a walk every day, okay, or a run, or doing a workout here or workout there. I actually picked a very challenging workout program for me because I had spent about 1.5 years doing some other things to help stabilize my core. I get chiropractic care. I had done some things where I knew it would be quite a challenge, but I was ready for it, okay? So the workout program I chose was called 80 Day Obsession. They're about an hour workout each. There are a lot of weightlifting cardio, core, legs, like your whole body is being pushed in these 80 days. It was 6 days a week. And that was a requirement of the total transformation, was 6 days a week, 30 minutes a day. For most people, you will see amazing changes with just that. But for me, I had to choose that. Now, I did use the Beachbody On Demand, and I've had that since 2018, but I've had their Beachbody's DVDs, Chalene Extreme. Here I will show you a picture of me with the Chalene Extreme program, along with some supplementation and nutrition that I did. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, I knew these programs worked. I knew they were effective, and I have had them since 2018. I do not sell them. I do think they are great. And I think having the access of having all the videos you can imagine on your TV, on your phone, on your laptop, like, we don't have any excuses. Yes, can you find things on YouTube? Have I encouraged people? Absolutely. But for only $99 a year, this is the best gym you could ever imagine. Now, this is coming from me. Now, I chose 80-Day Obsession too, in particular, because I come from a background of working out with a personal trainer. So I would pay to work out with a personal trainer 1, 2, sometimes 3 times a week over this past decade. And I knew that having a personal trainer and having someone who was very, into the details. So when I was researching the Beachbody programs, I knew this 1-hour program was like having a personal trainer, because the 80-Day Obsession, every day is different, right? So I'm not doing 5 or 7 workouts and then repeating it again. I'm doing a different workout every single day. So for me, who in California, the personal trainers were like $75 an hour, for $99 for a year, I'm getting a personal trainer doing this 80-Day Obsession. So I feel exercise is very important for our mind. It really put me in a great place to homeschool my kids and have more patience with them every day. It increased my libido. It helped me to just feel really good about myself. I saw a lot of physical changes, which was very encouraging and motivating, versus me just doing the food and changing and losing the weight. But I loved the way I looked. Like, I have muscles now. How cool is that? Okay, so that would be my third number one most important. The mind, starting at number 1 in the mind, I needed that prior to getting into these other things. But the food, the water, and the exercise, that 3 in just the physical sense made the most changes for me. All right, so let's go to the next thing that I want to talk about is that people ask me a lot about in this. Is the nutritional supplementation. And I don't want to hide anything. I followed the Total Transformation Program, which a requirement was to use the Beachbody products with that. I am a Young Living distributor. I have been for 22 years. I'm not changing that. I am not a Beachbody coach, but I knew enough about health and nutrition that these products were very safe, they were effective, and they worked, right? And I also knew that Young Living had very similar products, but I stayed in integrity and used the Beachbody program throughout the whole total transformation. Okay. This last section, I'm going to talk to you about the nutritionals that we use. Now, part of my life has been Young Living essential products, for 22 years. In fact, this guy here, Ninja Red, I haven't been without since 2006. It's been just powerful. And what Ninja Red is simple, the goji berry, the Lycium barbarum, plus pomegranate and some plum, blueberry, just very high antioxidants. So in this couple of 2 ounces is like me eating a couple cups of blueberries, 4 pounds of carrots. Like I would have to have all of that to be equivalent to what I get in Ninja Red. So I was worried when I went on the total transformation, the biggest transformation, that I would miss out on some of my core things that I loved. But thankfully, 2 ounces of juice, right, according to our little portion fix, is 4 ounces of juice is equal to 1 fruit. So many days I was able to put that Ninja Red down as one of my blue containers, or a half a blue. So that was really great for me too. The other thing that I found with myself using Young Living products for so long is that I seem to do better with, I love the protein. I love having a shake every day. My kids have one almost every day. They love it. But I love it. But I tend to do better with the more vegan ones, meaning without the whey. And I can still do that. I just found that I'm a little bit sensitive. Now, Young Living's whey protein is one of the best proteins out there in terms of how it's sourced and isolated and all of those things. But I found like having it every single day. So I did more of a pea protein. I've also liked Power Meal. And in my pictures that you saw when I lost the weight earlier, doing the exercise, replacing a shake every day, I was using the Sleek Shake. And the Sleek Shake is your vegan option for that. Now, on the biggest transformation, I did not use Young Living's proteins, but I used the Beachbody Shakeology. And I was okay with that. I think that product is very, very good. It actually has some of the goji berry in it. It's more costly than our protein because it does have some things like goji berry and extra goodies in there too. So it's a very good product. But I chose, again, they have a vegan option with the like I said, the non-whey option, and that really worked out good for me. So I had, my chocolate was my favorite, and I had that almost every day. And I would have that with, let me show you my magic bullet here. Okay, so here's my magic bullets, and I would have a nut milk. Macadamian is one of my favorites. I would have 8 ounces of that because that counts as 1 teaspoon here. I would have some ice. I would put my flax in there as well sometimes. And then I would go and just zip that up. So I'd have this delicious, and I could make it almost like a pudding. That's one of my favorite ways, by adding my carb, which would be a frozen container of sweet potato or frozen steel cut oats. So that's how I love to have my morning shake. And that was that thing that I did regularly almost every single day, except my rest day is before I worked out. I took, I don't want to say caffeine supplement because that's common in the workout world, but following the protocol, the total transformation, we took something called Energize. Now the Young Living equivalent to that would be our Nitro. So many of you love Nitro. You can think better, you can focus, but this is actually a product too that's very, very good to have before your workout, at least 15 minutes before. So with Nitro, what's kind of nice is it's just in this little packet. We pop off the top and we drink it, and this is really good. What I use Nitro in with my days is I would have the Energize, which you put in water, you drink it. It took me a little bit getting used to it because I didn't really like the taste of it in the beginning, but I grew to like it, I think, because I liked having some of that caffeine in the morning. Now, what makes Energize a good product too is it has quercetin in it. So for those of you who are following what functional medicine doctors are saying about COVID before, during, or after, is quercetin is like, yes, yes, yes. So this Energize has quercetin in it, and so I was getting that every single day before my workout, at least 15 minutes before my workout, and that definitely gave me a thing. But again, the Young Living equivalent would be your Nitro. Where I found I needed the Nitro, particularly the days I didn't get good quality sleep, was in the afternoon. So if I was having to work at night, I would take this in the afternoon. If I was finding my patience was kind of going down as I'm working with my son who has special needs and takes a lot of patience to work with him in his homeschool, I would take my Nitro, and it would just give me the focus, the patience, all of that too. So I really, really like this product. And it, what's nice about this product versus the Energize 2 is there's cane sugar in here and there isn't in here, okay? So that's kind of the difference of those two. Again, I talked to you about my Ninja Red. I would have that as a fruit replacement. A lot of times I'd have my fruit and carbs earlier in the day, before 3, before 4, even sometimes before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I found my body just responded better to that. Again, I'm 46 years old, I'm perimenopausal, so having a lot of carbs is just not a great thing for my health. The other thing that we did, that we were required to have every day, so we would have the Energize before, again, for those of you with Young Living, it would be a Nitro before your workout. Then we would work out, and then after our workout, we would have a like a muscle recovery, right? It was called Recover. And again, I would use the vegan protein. So what would be similar for us would be Young Living's Amino Wise. I really did notice a difference in my soreness when I took the Recover as directed, right? It's 150 calories. It has about 20 grams of protein in it, and scientists have just found that if you have that much protein after a workout, it feeds the muscles, it helps them recover, it helps them grow, it helps them be very, very effective. So Young Living's Pure Protein, if you had your shake after your workout, you would have, I think it's 25 grams of protein. There's 170 calories in this. So 25 grams of protein per serving. Okay, so you'd have that. But what you need to add to that, which the Recover has, the Beachbody program, is our Amino Wise. Now, and you can see Amino Wise helps with muscle recovery and enhances performance. And it has the branch chain amino acids. So it's the Amino Wise Recovery Blend, which again is very similar to the Recovery Blend in the Recover as well. So it has that, plus I believe there's some electrolytes in here. There's some wolfberry, zinc. Zinc is just really powerful. Another thing that's really great for those of you who work for functional doctors: vitamin E, magnesium, zinc, potassium. So this is really good, especially when you are sweating quite a bit. So Beachbody has a product called Hydrate. I did not use that in my protocol, but we have our YL Vitality Drops. Now the thing to remember though with this is, yes, there's 0 calories, but if I'm dumping like this whole thing, it's just a squirt. But it was something I chose because it's wonderfully sweet, just to kind of not to get my taste buds after it. But for those of you who sweat a lot and you need to replenish those electrolytes, this is our product that would be similar to the Hydrate of Beachbody. So again, just to recap, I would take the Energize, and or if you're doing Young Living, the Ninja Nitro prior to. After, as a muscle recovery, I would do their Recover. For Young Living, it's the Pure Protein Complete, but using the Amino Wise. And some people use the Amino Wise while they work out. That is absolutely fine. but it is very good after you work out as well. And also some people add things like sulfurzyme to their drink. They drink a Ninja Red, Amino Wise, some sulfurzyme to help the muscles. What I found was very beneficial to me when I was drinking my after protein shake, recovery shake, I would add my BLM, bone ligament muscle, right? BLM. And this has got glucosamine, collagen, MSM, balsam fir, wintergreen, manganese, and clove. And just a very, very good supplement, because you are going to be sore. You're going to be pushing yourself. You're going to be, it's just a lot. So this was very, very powerful for me. Again, a lot of people will add sulfurzyme and BLM. I don't have any inflammatory stuff going, you know, like chronic conditions or anything like that, but I had sore muscles, so that was good. Of course, I used my Young Living oils, and they were phenomenal too, but one of my favorites was the Orthosport massage oil. Peppermint was really good. I would use Northern Lights Black Spruce, and I had my husband put the raindrop oils on me probably once a week too, so that was my essential oils that I used. Okay, midday, or when I would have like my first meal. So let me explain the time nutrition. So let me back up a little bit, explain the time nutrition. So time nutrition is you're eating every couple of hours. This for me was really a good thing. I felt very full. I was able to switch over and have way more self-control and not give in to cravings, not give in to food around me, because I was eating on a regular basis and I was having that protein. So in time nutrition, in the 80-day obsession workout, I would actually have a shake with carbohydrate or fruit or something like that 1 hour, 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes an hour and a half prior to when I actually worked out. I would have my Energize, for those of you doing Young Living, the Nitro, about 15 minutes before I worked out. Okay, 15 or so, sometimes it was 30 minutes before I worked out. So I would have like almost a meal prior to that, and I felt phenomenal on it. I was working out for an hour, so I felt like I really needed it. And if I went too long between my first meal, my workout, and then going on, like I could feel hungry. So then after my workout, I would have the recover, and then about an hour, I would have that within 30 minutes, and then an hour or so, hour and a half after my workout, I would have like a meal, right? An actual meal. So that would usually be a protein, a veggie, possibly a carb. It might be a wrap with some meat and veggies in there, but it was one wrap, right? So one wrap counts. One 6-inch wrap out, 6-inch low carb wrap would count as one carb. So that would be my meal, okay? But we were also required to have what's called Shakeology every day, which in the Young Living world would be your pure protein. So that might mean that you're doing 2 of these a day, one to count as the recover and one to count as the meal replacement. Okay, so that was that. Now the Beachbody Shakeology has the goji berry in it, but what do we have? We have the Ninja Red as well. How much Ninja Red do you need per day when you're doing a program like this? I would have loved to have done more, but I just stuck to around 2 ounces, maybe 4 ounces a day. And then I might have had 2 ounces of Ninja Red and maybe a Nitro as well. Okay, so that's what I did there. But something that was, I think, pivotal for all of us, no matter where we're at, is the Master Formula. I can't say that I did this every day. So Master Formula is our vitamin, mineral, and omegas, right? So our vitamin, mineral, and omegas. So I just found that it just gave me good energy. And when I paired that in the afternoon or early afternoon with the Super B, woo, I did good. And the one I don't have here right now is the multigreens. So I would do this about every day. I would do this, as I remember, 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a day. And then the multigreens I would add in about 3 times a day. And why didn't I do it every single day? Because I'm getting a lot of nutrition with the core that I'm taking. So I didn't always need that. But some days I felt depleted and I knew I needed more. Another thing that I did too, because I was having so much protein and not a lot of carbs, is the Mega-Cal. Again, I'm 46 years old. I need the magnesium, calcium. But anytime you're doing anything kind of keto-ish like, which this isn't, but your body will start to have some depletion. So taking the Mega-Cal not only helped me digestively, I slept better at night. I would take this at night, take the recommended teaspoon in there, and it was very good. And I'm getting all that good nutrition, which is helping to keep my immune system strong. So Mega-Cal was another one. In the beginning too, if those of you who struggle with sleep, having an Immune Pro is just a powerful supplement to have too. Again, this has got the melatonin in it and the reishi mushrooms, just powerful to support your immune system. And finally, my favorite thing that I used quite a bit was our Essential Zyme 4. Because I was having so much protein, I was having some issues with constipation. So I found that I would take 2 of these, one of these samplers, right? Every time I had a shake, I would have at least 2 of these a day. Otherwise, I found myself getting constipated. That's just my system. But these enzymes are helping me to pull out all of that good nutrition out of the food I was eating, the great food, the great nutritionals, the great shakes. So I felt more energy, I felt better, and I did better digestively taking the enzymes. And then the days that I did get constipated, which would happen almost weekly, and it wasn't because I wasn't drinking enough water. It was maybe I wasn't having my veggies with all the protein or whatever, but I would take Comfort Tone at night. And for me, sometimes I would have to take 3 or 4 to get things moving. So Comfort Tone by Young Living was great. So that's what I did. And if you are out there and you're saying, oh my gosh, I can't do all of this. Now, this is my lifestyle. These are the products that I've had. But even Beachbody says the programs that you have, you can do them without the nutritionals. You can do it without the shakes and without the Energize or, any of this stuff. In my personal opinion, I think it'll be harder to lose weight. I think you'll have to do a lot more cooking to get all the good nutrition that you need in versus having just a meal replacement shake for some of the things that you need. And honestly, without having my vitamins, my Ninja Red, my enzymes, I wouldn't have performed or felt as good as I would be. But it is possible to just do the food, do the exercising, 30 minutes. You can do the basics, drink the water. You can do the basics and you can have amazing, amazing results. So I hope this was helpful to you. Please like and subscribe here on our channel. We do lots of things about health and wellness. I just wanted to give you this full story of how I lost 30 pounds in 15 weeks, what I did, how I did it, and I hope it was helpful to you. Now I'm going to have you watch a few of our kind of videos of me exercising, but also you can kind of see the progression of my weight loss journey and some of my photos through at least 15 weeks. Let's see if we can add some more onto that too. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.